been frozen out.
Facing an extinction level event.
We don't fight this fight right now, you're not going to have black owners. All right, folks, we're broadcasting live from Black Lives Matter Plaza here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. A year ago, George Floyd murdered in Minneapolis. Billions of dollars all of a sudden being pledged by corporations. $90 million went to Black Lives Matter. The NAACP received more than $100 million. Donations started flowing to HBCUs, numerous organizations, National Urban League, and so many others. Again, some $50 billion that was committed by corporate America. Most of that not spent. Joining us is attorney Bari Williams. She a Silicon Valley executive, someone who often talks about what's happening in the corporate world. Bari, glad to have you on the show. I'm sure your mom is glad to see you on Roland Martin Unfulfilled. She's a big fan, I know.
I knew you.
Just,
oh man,
you know,
she gonna love that you gave her a shout out, because I've been sick for the last 4 days. She's been over here with soup. And then there was a whole thing.
You know your mama loves Uncle Roro.
Yeah, she loves Uncle Roro, and she loves Return of the Mac. And I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't know if we're related, but apparently we are.
Y'all, inside joke, Bari cannot stand Mark Morris's Return of the Mac. And every chance I get, I send her a video of me dancing to it, but eventually she'll like it. All right, let's talk about, go from Return of the Mac to where the hell is all this money? All these corporations, Bari,
that's honestly,
sat there and made announcements, and they posted stuff, and
so
now all of a sudden, where the money?
I would say about by the end of the summer, so by August 1st last year, everybody and their mama had a whole pledge. Like, we stand with Black Lives Matter, and we're doing a pledge for X, Y, and Z amount of money to NAACP and Black Lives Matter Foundation, or we're going to donate and do more for diverse founders or do more for diverse suppliers. And my thing is like, okay, cool. All that sounds great. But my grandmother raised me, literally, her words were, watch people's feet. And I'm watching your feet, and your feet haven't shown me anything. So it's a year later, what have you done? Like, if we want to get all Janet Jackson on you, what have you done for me lately? Where is it? Where is it? And they haven't shown anything. And the other problem that is wrong with that, Roland, is you're like, oh, we're going to self-audit. Well, what the hell is self-audit? That's like if I put Gabriel in punishment right now and say, okay, well, choose your punishment. He'll be like, okay, well, I'll stand on the corner. But while I stand here, I want cookies and ice cream. And he just walked by. And so it's like, I want cookies and ice cream and a cheesesteak. And like, that's not actually punishment. And that's actually not accountability. So you need outside auditors to do this work. And I'm not saying it needs to be me. It needs to be somebody, because this isn't going to really happen unless you have somebody that's going to do that.
But you know what, though, Bari? Here's what also should be happening. And what should be happening, we just had Leslie Redmond on from Minneapolis NAACP. This is also where grassroots organizers, this is what I would call on them to do. They should be showing up at the company saying, where the money? Where the money?
Here's
now,
the
y'all
thing.
sat here and got your little PR hit.
In one of those companies, and I know that doesn't work. You're going to need Congressional Black Caucus. You're going to need actual legislators to come and say, you need to do this. It's not going to work any other way. And I know that that's not what people want to hear.
No. Follow me here. Follow me here, Bari. This is what I mean. First of all, I believe that, one, you have to raise public consciousness. So folks have to say, okay, X company, last year, y'all released a press release, you put it on social media, you announced you were going to spend $100 million. We're here to find, where's the report, where's the money, who got checks, we want to see the canceled checks or deposit or whatever, and then we're going to come back. See, to me, you got to shine light on them. And I'll be straight up honest with you.
Yeah, I don't disagree. That's
example.
what I mean by saying you cannot say that we're going to do an internal audit. What does that internal audit means? I'm only going to show you the numbers that are in my favor. And the other numbers, I'm just going to put away in a closet and keep it to myself. Like, that doesn't work.
And I think what we also have to do is we also have to be, but Bari, we also have to be jamming up the black board members saying, hey, what you doing? You sitting your behind on the board. Are you holding them accountable?
Well, and so in terms of black board members, what I will say is there aren't a lot of them. And my father-in-law, he is Barry Williams, not to be misconstrued with Bari Williams. And he spent 2 years doing this, and because he wanted to retire and get off of boards, and he kind of just did a look around and then spent 2 years looking at what was the, basically the succession plan for each of those boards. And they didn't have black people. They didn't know black people. And he was like, this is a problem, because even when you do find black people, it's the same, like, 3. Do better. So I will give snaps to Barry Lawson Williams all day, every day for that. He's one of your people. He's not Alpha, but one of your other people. But he spent 2 years doing that.
So there are people. So there are people who are watching. There are people who are watching and listening right now. What are you telling them that they should be doing to force these companies to pony up the money?
Well, and that's the other thing that I always tell Roland. Diversity is a 4-legged stool. So it's your employees, it's your suppliers, it's your customers, and it's your board members. And people always forget the suppliers and the board members. If you are not looking at your board membership, you doing it wrong. Period. That's the end. And that's what Barry spent 2 years doing, was like, there's nobody that can succeed me. Like, I would love to bring somebody up, but you don't know who this person is. So even if I brought them to you, you would be like, who is this? Even if they have an impeccable resume. And that's a problem. So that's something else that we need to tackle, is there are tons of black people that we have that are board ready, who own their own businesses. People like you, very easy. But they're like, I don't know who that is.
Now, Bar, you know doggone well they ain't gonna put me on no board. Lord,
they
like safe black.
Either, but yet somebody put me on one. I don't know how.
I don't know, boy. I think you a little safer. I think you a little safer than me.
I'm just humming Negro spirituals right now because I don't know.
Well, I think bottom line is we have this segment called "Where's Our Money." This is when our people.
That's literally where the money is. If you are not investing in black founders,
right,
and you are not investing in black board members, that's where the money is, and that's where the influence is. And if you're not doing either of those two things, then it's not going to happen. Period.
Yep, I agree 100%. Bari Williams, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Get better. Tell your mama what's up.
Not singing Return to the Mac. Bye,
oh,
sir.
no. I'm gonna send a link to you right now. I'm gonna have Mark Morrison deliver a special birthday shout out to you.
Oh, wow.
All right, thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Hey, Benjamin, again, look, bottom line is, this is where folk need to be knocking on their door saying, what a check.
Yeah.
What a check. Y'all sitting here, what a check.
Roland, one of the things they got the advantage of was all the good publicity that came with announcing that they were going to give this money, right? And it's almost it's analogous to them simply saying Black Lives Matter, but never doing anything. They get the publicity, they get the PR, they get the news cycle, but then the silence comes and they're able to get away without delivering on their promises. And we see this with corporations a lot of times. They do what is in their best interest, obviously economically, but they also do what's in their best interest in terms of public relations. And they know how to play these games. They know know how to make a big PR release, a press release, and they get the headlines that they need, and then they back away and not deliver, but they still got all of the benefits from identifying. And it's an aesthetic for them, Roland. They love the look because it benefits them to say Black Lives Matter, but they don't want to put their money where their mouth is.
Teresa, look, you deal with companies dealing with PR, and yes, they got the PR value. And I'll give you a perfect example. When YouTube announced that they were creating this $100 million Black Content Creators Fund, they announced it. We put in a call to them immediately. And then what happened? All of a sudden, we hit them, oh, well, actually, it was just an announcement. We really hadn't put the thing together. Now, eventually they did, but they just threw it out there for the hit, but hadn't actually thought of what the plan actually was going to be. We called them like, yo, and I literally said to the person, hey, we ready. Oh, well, we got to meet. We got to put this thing together. Yeah. And so that was a response, and that was a whole lot of companies.
Yeah, and so what you'll see, and Brother Benjamin was totally right in terms of how some companies utilize the relationship with public relations. So sometimes there are those instances where an initiative sounds great. It seems like everybody's getting on board and corporations are hopping on. But the follow-up plan on some of those initiatives and programs never really get televised, or they never get as much of a splash that some of the small businesses need. So then you'll see corporations just do the easy part, and they write a check to a nonprofit organization that has an existence with some of the topics that they may be working with, which is social justice, entrepreneurship, or something that had to do with COVID-19. I think a lot of times when we did see the pandemic dollars, I like to call them, that was stemming down from the corporations, there was this huge frenzy of opportunity where they wanted to impact small businesses. And I can't tell you how many applications me and my firm personally filled out in order to be a recipient of one of those. And the criteria, even just, seeing 4 years of tax returns and just the hardship just to get some of the grant funding. And then the announcement would only be, out of this pool of hundreds of people, they would narrow down to be between 10 to 20 small businesses. You were just amazed as the amount of heist and angst. Really, some of these small businesses were just waiting for a call, which would probably take an additional weeks or months. So I think corporations, as they are thinking about the greater conversation of how they could be a part of it, they also need to really understand that their follow-up on promises kept for some of those initiatives and some of those programs, people are going to remember them. And we're going to remember when you ask, when you're telling us to subscribe or buy your products, yep, or ask us to even promote. So, those are I think some of the bigger goals that they need to think about versus just doing the press release.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have, you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it. Please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.